All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Coach Cruise. For those of you that are new to the channel, I'm your host, Brad, and I have a panel of teens today, as you can see. And what we're going to be talking about is on Carnival Cruise Line, they have a variety of clubs for young people to go to have fun and make new friends and activities and fun things to do when they're not with their parents, right? And I always advise, parents that have never been on a cruise that might have children or teens. And I say, hey, a cruise is a great vacation to go on because usually you have your teens or your younger kids, they want to go to the clubs and meet people their age and have fun with them. And then the adults kind of get their own time. The teens kind of get their own time and you get to go off and do fun things on your own and kind of have your own vacation, but still spend it with your family at the same time. So, without any further ado, I would like to introduce our panel. And I don't know how it looks on your screen, but what I'll do is I will go from bottom to top. And so, what I would like them to do is just obviously you could read their names, but what age they are, what club they go to when they're on a cruise, and what state they're from. So let's start off with Melanie. And Melanie, why don't you let us know where you're from and your age and what cruise you most recently went on and the club you visited while you were there. Go ahead, Melanie.
Oh, wait, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. You're okay.
Oh,
Yeah, you were
okay.
frozen for a second. I could hear you, but
Oh,
okay. Yeah,
sorry.
you're good.
I was saying, I'm Melanie. I'm 15. I'm in Club 2, and I can't remember the recent cruise line I went on, but I know
I
the
think it was a
name is.
celebration.
Oh, there you go, Celebration.
Yeah, you
And
were on
yeah.
the nice new ship.
Mhm.
Okay, so Club O2, and you are from the state of Illinois. Why do I know this? Because I
Illinois.
work with her mom. So yeah, so that's how I know. All right. And then staying on the bottom, and we're going to work our way up. We have Levi. Levi, let us know what state you're from, how old you are, and what club you go to when you are on a cruise.
I'm from Georgia. I'm 12 years old and I normally go to Circle C. By the way, sorry for the change of scenery. My dogs are going crazy.
Oh, no worries. I understand how that goes. And you were just on the horizon, correct?
I think.
Yeah. Okay. Now I know. I was talking with your dad, so I know. And then finally we have Abby. And if Abby looks familiar, it's because Abby is the creator of the cruise duck craze. So for everybody out there that hides ducks and find ducks on cruise ships, believe it or not, this young teen right here is the person that started all that craziness that people love so much. And you might see a big duck in the background. And her father's actually even provided us with a couple coins as giveaways. So anybody in the comments, we'll do a drawing and it won't cost anything. You'll just need to give your name. I'll assign you a number and we'll do a random draw. So as we gain more people throughout the show here and more people log in, we'll do that at the end of the show. So, Abby, yeah, tell us where you're from, your age, your the club, and the most recent cruise you went on.
I'm from Texas and I am 15. And the most recent cruise I went on was probably the Freedom, and I go to O2.
Okay. All right. So we just lost Levi. Hopefully, we'll get him back. All right. But I have the two young ladies, and both of you, same age. Both of you go to Club O2. And my question is, what let's start with you, Melanie, and then we'll go back to you again, Abby. Um, as far as Club O2, you were just on the celebration. What type of activities, what type of fun things are there to do? How does that even start? Like, what you just have to go find the place, or what's the whole process of checking into Club O2 for the first time when you get on your cruise?
a little comfortable with the layout. It was a bigger ship than we normally go on, and I'm a little less social, so it took me like at least 2 days to finally like go sign myself in. But they have a lot of activities, a lot of board games, karaoke. There's just a lot of different things you can do, and then at night they have like basketball and like treasure hunts and all these like fun things, and you just kind of find your own like group of people to hang out with, and yeah.
And about how many people? I know it varies from cruise to cruise, but about how many teens would you say were in the club at a given time when you would just go randomly in there?
So I mean, you'd catch a lot of teens at night, mostly at night. Um, I'd I'd say a little more than like 30 kids. It was a lot of older kids, mostly like around 16, 17 years old.
Okay.
But yeah, just playing video games and board games.
And then do you just, as far as meeting people or whatever, do you just how does that work? Do you just start kind of playing games with everybody and just start talking to people casually, or how does that work as far as introducing yourself?
Just come up to me. I remember having a group of like at least 10 kids come up to me and ask me if I wanted to be part of like a group chat with them. I think it takes a couple days for you to really find who your like friends are gonna be like during the cruise. Usually when I find friends, it's like the last couple of days of the cruise. But yeah, usually people just come up to me, or I'll go up to them, or we'll just start talking. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. All right, well, let's go since again, Abby, you two are in the same club, same age. So what's your experience been like? When you go to the clubs, and what do you like to do when do you go on the first day, or you like Melanie, you kind of wait a day or two before you go check it out, or how's that work?
Yeah, I kind of wait a little bit so it's not as awkward, really. But I don't know what it is. I just don't like going on the first day. But
Right.
oh, and another event that I absolutely loved was on the last day of the cruise. In Club O2, they do this prom,
Oh
and it
wow.
was super fun.
What's the prom entail? You just Is
You
it a
just
dance or?
you just dress up as fancy as whatever you brought, and then we have like dancing, and then prom and queen, and it was just really fun.
And most of the people come to that. Most of the teens go to that.
Mhm.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I didn't even know about that. All right, so that's interesting. And then okay, and then Levi, tell us about Circle C, and is it anything different in Circle C from what they talked about? Is it videos, games, board games, that kind of all the kind of the same stuff, just a little different age group?
Yeah, basically, except for it honestly depends on boat. Most of the time it's small. Most of the time it's smaller and like a lot less board games, mostly video games.
Okay. And
Uh,
when you're meeting people, are you just kind of like challenging somebody to a video game, or how do they go about making it easier for you to kind of connect and meet some new people?
it honestly depends on the cruise. I've had some cruises where I did not make any friends, and some cruises where I've had a whole friend group. Depends on the cruise and the people on it.
So is it more upon you to kind of introduce yourself to each other, or do they do like activities that kind of makes it easy for you to meet one another?
They try to do activities, but most of the time it's the kids just doing it themselves.
Okay. So on those cruises where you have connected and made some friends and things like that, what do? You hang out in the club for a while, and then you just kind of go wander the ship together as a group and play basketball, that kind of thing. What do you?
Usually we get to the club when it opens, stay there for like 5-10 minutes deciding what to do and then just go.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. So, and Melanie, and you touched on this, and Abby, I think you touched on it a little bit when we were talking off air. So I think a challenge for, many teens and young people might be like, if you're a little bit shy, you might be a little bit nervous about going into a new situation that you don't know, other young people that you don't know. All of you have obviously been successful and making some new friendships and having fun with other people on the ship that are of similar age to you. What advice would you give? And any of you can chime in at any time to answer this question. What advice would you give on how to connect or why other teens shouldn't be fearful of, going to the kids clubs or anything? What would you say to them?
For advice, I'd say go on the first night because that's when everybody is and that's when it's the easiest to connect. And for advice, I'd say to find somebody who is exactly like you or exactly the opposite of you.
Okay, so yeah, one, they say opposites attract, right? So Abby, Melanie, what do you what advice would you offer?
My advice would be to kind of just go on like the first couple nights. Usually I waited out to like the third, and it's like you make friends, and then I usually make friends so late into the cruise, and then I barely have time to be with them. So I'd say go the first night and just branch out because
Okay,
I don't do enough.
very good. Nabby?
I'd say just go with the flow, honestly, and try and invite people to games to play with you and stuff like that, just so you can gain connections with people.
Okay, now here's a question for all of you. Do your parents like you, just being off on your own when you're on the ship? Do they like that freedom to themselves, or do they get mad at you for spending too much time away from the family? And anybody can answer this one.
For me, it's kind of both. They like me going around the ship as long as I'm not playing video games, but they also set like times I need to be back in the room to get ready for dinner or a curfew. That's really it, though. They like me being away.
All right. All right, Abby, Melanie, how about you two?
My mom prefers that I'm out making friends. She likes the time to herself. Obviously, like we have like family dinners and stuff the first couple nights, but then after that, we're allowed to just be with our friends. I don't necessarily have a curfew because, like I'm older and I just don't really like listen to the curfew. We just kind of just stay out. But yeah.
Well, you actually led me to another question, but Abby, go ahead and respond to that.
Honestly, my dad doesn't really care as long as I'm just not getting in trouble and stuff like that. But whenever I'm normally out, he's normally out drinking or having fun with his friends. So
Drinking. Adults don't drink. We're all just
totally.
drinking milk and pop and yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. What is my next question? Now, Melanie, you mentioned it, and it seems like you have it down, and Levi, you seem like you are on board with doing it early. So, Melanie, it seems like you were happy with the way you handled the club this time because you had more days to enjoy the new people that you met, whereas before it seemed like you waited too long and then you didn't have a whole lot of time. So what made you go into the club earlier this time and then allowed you more time to have fun with people your own age? Was there anything that
Actually, I feel like it was the same amount. Like I always wait last minute. I just have like really bad social anxiety, so I'm always like with my sister. She's 12. so we're always like together. But I just like I said, I just feel like it takes a couple of days to really figure out like who like your friends are gonna be for the rest of the cruise. Like I remember a group of kids came up to me asking me for like my number or whatever, and I was like, sure. We never talked throughout that timeline on the cruise, and then like the second to last day of the cruise, I met like these really good people that I was like friends with, and I was like, wow, they're cool. And I kind of wish I had met them earlier into the cruise because then we could have, been friends. So.
And what stuff? And again, this is open to all of you, but Melanie, since you're already talking, what types of things did you go off and do? Did you like all hit the water park? Did you go play some sports? I mean, what? Or you just kind of walk around and have fun hanging out, talking and stuff on the ship?
So I met these kids like in the hallway, and then we just randomly started talking. So I know a couple of times we went to go get pizza because I know it's open till like 4 a.m. I know we went to the water park a couple of times. We went to the pool. There was a roller coaster on this cruise ship this time, but we did have to pay, which was like the only like bad thing about it. But it was really fun. We just go to each other's rooms. We chill. Yeah.
Very cool. So you rode the Bolt?
Mm-hmm.
Bolt roller coaster. What'd you think of that? It's pretty scary.
It was really fun. The first time I got on it, it was with my sister, and we got stuck. So we were able to do it again. It was a little scary, but it was really fun.
I did that one on the Mardi Gras, which is the same type of shit, and it's a big thrill, but it's so fast.
It does
go over like in no time. That's the only thing I don't like about it is it's over in no time.
Mm-hmm.
So Abby, Levi, how about you?
What we usually do is like get food, start talking about other stuff, maybe play basketball or mini golf. Just find something on the boat to do using the app or something.
Okay. And then, so you all mentioned, and Abby and Melanie, you were talking about this, but a prom. Levi at Circle C, do they have anything like that at the end of the cruise for you all?
They usually have that, but for me, in my experiences, it's not really at the end of the cruise. I've had it once on the second night, but it's like during a formal night that they usually have it for me.
Okay. And you all have been on multiple cruises now. Abby, I know you mentioned you still stay in contact with some people that you've met on the cruise before. Do you make plans to hopefully cruise together again, or what type of friendships have you made?
Eventually, I want to go on another cruise with all of them, but in the group chat they ask who's going on a cruise soon and what cruise, and see if anybody's on the same cruise again or not, and that's about it.
Okay. All right. And Melanie, how about you? Did you connect with anybody that you still keep in contact with?
So that's a funny thing. Usually after we all, give each other our Snapchats, Instagram, social media, some of us go ghost on each other, like we'll just not talk at all. But last night somebody reached out to me that I went on a cruise with, my second to last cruise. And he's asking how I was doing, but I don't think that kids I've met from my cruise will ever reach that point to go on another cruise. But I think it's definitely like an experience to meet new people from like different states. Like I have a lot of friends from Georgia, New York, Ohio, Colorado, like just different areas. But it would be really fun to go on another cruise with them.
Yeah, that is cool. And you just mentioned it. You touched on some of the states that everybody's from, and all three of you are from a different state. Now you kind of know each other from being on this show together. But that is one of the things that I like. So you just led me to another question, Melanie. You were talking about the cruises and stuff. So you all have been on different types of vacations. Is cruising your favorite type of vacation, or what type of vacation do you like the most? And obviously the answer may be different for each one of you. Well, let's start with Abby, and then we'll just kind of go around the circle, and you can tell us where the cruising ranks as far as vacations, is that like a favorite or a second favorite or a third favorite? Where would it rank for you? Abby, we'll start with you.
Honestly, I really like cruising more than taking vacations because you have a little bit of time to go around different islands, and I like that because you won't be stuck at one place. You get to go to multiple places.
Right. And when you are in these different ports, these different islands and stuff, what types of things do you like to do when you're on an island or a different country or something?
Normally, I like trying their food or going on the excursion, but I like going snorkeling if we go to a certain beach that has good snorkeling areas.
Okay. All right, very cool. Yeah, I love snorkeling. I'm looking forward to doing some of that on my cruise in about 3 weeks. Okay, so Melanie, where does cruising rank for you in terms of favorite vacations? And then what types of things do you like to do, when you're in port?
I think I like cruising better than like just flying to like one destination. I feel like on cruises you are able to meet like different people from different areas. I feel like there's a lot more things to do, like the Club O2, Circle C, and I think it's just more fun, like to hang out at night with your friends. Like I feel like you can't get that just flying into one place. But I like island hopping a lot.
Okay.
I like trying the new food. Just being in a different environment. I like snorkeling. I like being at the beach. Excursions. Yeah.
So there's some beautiful beaches, obviously, when you're going to the Caribbean. I know one place that you all went that I haven't got to go yet, and I remember it because your mom and I were talking about, but Bimini. I wanted to go to Bimini. I haven't been there. I haven't been to Bermuda yet, surprisingly, despite all the cruises I've been on, and I've been on a ton. I haven't been to those two spots. So you're at one spot that I haven't gone to yet. And Levi, how about you? Are you somebody that prefers cruising, or would you like to go to one spot and stay for a week as opposed to going to a cruise and hitting several different spots?
Cruising is my favorite form of travel because it honestly feels like a luxury. You got people doing some stuff for you, but also, even though most people don't, I've seen to lose weight on cruises more than gain weight, and it's just fun all around. So I like that the best.
Okay. And how about
And
when you get to the islands and stuff? What do you like to do?
any excursions and what we're doing as a family, and also just getting a soda that I have never seen before.
Okay, so well, yeah, that's true though. But you go to these different countries, right? And they have different type of candy bars and different type of pops and all that kind of stuff. So you get to try some different cultural flavor foods and things like that. So yeah, I get that. Let me just say hi to a few people. I failed to do that. Normally, that's one of the first things I do. We just had a few comments today. If there's anybody else here that hasn't already commented, we had Tony G checking in. We have Charlene, who has a daughter, and they're going on their first cruise in August that's celebrating her 10th birthday. And is excited to hide ducks. That is going to be fun for them. And we have Will G. Him and I have been on a cruise. And, I failed to mention this as well, but I've cruised with each one of you. Levi and Abby, I know I've talked with you both when we've been on cruises. And Melanie, I think I met you just briefly saying hi with your mom or whatever before your mom and dad and myself went on a bar crawl with your uncle and aunt. But yeah, we had some fun on that cruise. I think that was the glory. But Abby, same thing with you and your dad, Ashley. And again, Abby being the originator of the duck hiding, which is like crazy because you would think that would be somebody that was like old, because it seems like it's been around for a long time, but it really hasn't been around that long when you really think about it. And then Levi, your dad and I met on the Carnival Magic and that's where I met you. I think it was Thanksgiving, correct? On the Carnival Magic. So,
Yeah.
so that was fun. But any other thoughts? We'll start down with you, Levi. What final thoughts would like to add about the clubs on Carnival and what you like about them? If there's anything you didn't like about it, just anything that we haven't talked about that you would like to throw out there. Oh, and we just lost him. He'll probably log back in. It seems like he's having a bad connection. So let's move to you, Melanie. Any thoughts that you haven't shared, good thoughts, bad thoughts, in between thoughts, that you would like to share in regards to your experience with the clubs on the cruise line for a Carnival?
Sorry, I keep cutting off.
Okay.
Nothing really that we haven't covered. Most cruises are close to the same, but what makes all the cruises very different is mostly the people. You get to learn what type of people are on the cruise in the club.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, that's cool. And final, what cruise? Is there any particular cruise or any particular destination or ship that you would like to go on, Levi?
Yeah, I would love to go on, and we've been looking on the Icon of the Seas from Royal Caribbean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's like the mega ship, right? All right. And then Melanie, anything that we failed to discuss, any advice, tips, thoughts that you have on the Club O2 or the ships or anything like that?
No, not necessarily. I really enjoy cruising a lot. It's really fun. Recommend it to anybody who's watching. But I would really love to go on Mardi Gras.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's up there.
Yeah, and when the Mardi Gras is a sister ship to the Celebration, so the layout's going to be pretty similar. But yeah, I was on the Mardi Gras last year, but yeah, that's a lot of fun. But the Celebration, did you get to interact or did you see the cruise director on that ship very much?
I did not.
Oh, okay. You were off doing other stuff. Okay. All right. And then finally, Abby, your final thoughts or tips or advice, something that we may not have mentioned yet in regards to the teen clubs, Club O2, anything?
The only thing that I don't like about cruising is that some of the places close too early because mainly everybody's out at night. So what I do, because I know that I'll be hungry later, I just grab a burger before they close and then I take it to my room. But
Well, that's good thinking. And actually, I'm glad you mentioned that, Abby, because that led me to my next thought. What are your favorite things to eat on the cruise ship? And Abby, since you were just talking about that, let's start with you and then we'll go back the other way. What are your favorite things to eat on your favorite things? There's obviously a lot of food on the ships. So what are your favorite things that you like to eat?
I really like that burger place.
Guys Burger?
Yes. And then I love their ice cream. I don't know what it is about it. It's just so good. And then another thing that I like, it's in the dining room. I never thought that I'd actually like them, and it's snails.
Oh, escargot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good that you're willing to expand your
Yeah, because my dad never told me what it was until I was done.
Oh, okay. But yeah, when they drown them in butter, right, and cheese and all that kind of stuff, it kind of makes them taste. All right, so Melanie, what are some of your food favorites on the Carnival cruise ships?
So surprised I don't really like cruise food.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, the last cruise I went on, I didn't really. I mean, it was different than the other cruises we've been on. I know they had like a Chinese, Mexican, or no, it was like a Asian food mixed with like Mexican food type of restaurant.
Shebang.
Yeah.
Shebang. Yeah.
And what else? Which I mean, it was good. But I normally just ate in like the dining hall with like my friends. Like we just get like something quick because we were always like walking around. I liked the burgers and the fries, but I didn't get any on the last cruise because the lines were so long.
Right.
The ice cream is really good. Yeah.
Yeah. So like the waffles, you're not a waffle person or an omelet person? Or...
No, not really. I mean, I would just grab like cereal. I probably would skip breakfast. Like it wasn't my favorite. I don't like cruise food.
So you're one of the rare people that are losing weight on the cruise, right?
Yep.
And while everybody else is gaining weight?
Yeah, I gain it off the island when I'm on the island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. And how about you, Levi? What is your favorite foods, even though you were the one saying you lose weight too when you're on the ship? What do you like?
Honestly, I've only had one cruise where I did not really like the food out of all my cruises. And my favorite things to have is the pig patty at Guy's. Thing is so good.
Okay.
And the Carnival melting cake.
Well, oh yeah, that's got a ton of calories. But what about the blue iguana? You all, none of you mentioned the tacos or anything. None of you are eating tacos or burritos from the blue.
I tried the tacos and they were good, except the line is so long, and I just like don't have the patience to wait in the lines. The tacos are good though. I'm not gonna lie about that. I just don't like waiting in the lines.
I hear you. Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank each of you. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that watch this on replay. This was kind of an unscheduled last minute kind of thing we put together here. But I think you've probably helped a lot of people your age make a decision on, hey, like, let's go check out this Club O2 or Circle C and see what it's all about. Seems like it's fun. You're making friends. And I think, if people are going to follow your advice, they're going to go sooner rather than later to check it out and hopefully make some friends like all of you have that you've stayed in contact with to this day that you might have met a long time ago. And I see we have Bruce from Ocean Travel checking in. What's going on, Bruce? But Abby, Melanie, Levi, thank you all so much and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Now, a couple of you, Abby, Levi, are you guys still in school? I know Melanie's still in school because she's in the same state as me, but are you two still in school right now?
Yeah, sadly.
Until when? When do you get out?
Thursday, so I'm doing literally nothing.
So you only have 4 days left of school. How about you, Abby?
I have this week and next week, and then I'm out. I get out May 31st.
Oh, okay. So you're about the same as us. And Melanie, are you June 7th?
I am June 7th.
Okay, yeah. So you're the same as our schedule or whatever. So yeah, we're the latest ones, but I think we go back later also, which is nice. Well, enjoy your last few days of school, all of you. And again, thank you. And again, I know there's going to be some people that watch this on replay in the coming weeks and months that this will help them make a decision on going to the club or not going to the club. And they may have you to thank for that. So thank all of you. And there was going to be Ashley provided some coins that were going to be a giveaway, but we honestly don't have that many people in the audience. So we'll save those for another time. And yeah, we will see you all later. Will's youngest graduates high school Saturday. Very cool. And all right, you guys. Well, thank you and take care. And we'll see you all later. All right.